Imagine holding a pencil in your hand, a simple tool of graphite and wood. You might think it's just a utilitarian object, but have you ever wondered why pencils are often yellow? It's a color choice that goes beyond mere aesthetics to tell us a story about nationalism and savvy marketing from the dawn of the 20th century. Your ancestors didn't always reach for yellow pencils. In fact, when pencil manufacturing began in earnest during the early 19th century, these writing implements came in various hues: browns, reds, and grays. The pencil's signature color started to shift around 1890 when a German company, Hardtmuth, introduced what it called the Koh-i-Noor, named after an Indian diamond renowned for its brilliance. Hardtmuth chose yellow not just because of the luxurious connotation associated with India's Koh-i-Noor diamond, but also due to China's connection to pencil manufacturing. You see, Chinese graphite was highly prized and had a reputation for being some of the best in the world. So why did this become significant for yellow pencils? China's boxwood forests, once abundant and essential for making pencils, began to dwindle by the 19th century. As China sought to protect its remaining resources, it started exporting pencil-ready wood abroad, especially to Germany. This exportation led to a peculiar twist. As Chinese wooden cores became more scarce, they also became more valuable. Why yellow then? It turns out that around this time, Japan was emerging as a formidable industrial competitor, particularly in pencils. To counteract this and promote their own pencil industry, the Germans cleverly chose yellow, a color associated with China's imperial yellow dragon, to evoke feelings of prestige and quality. This marketing ploy worked wonders, associating yellow pencils not just with quality, but also with the rich tradition of Chinese graphite. So next time you hold a yellow pencil, think about its unexpected story, one that blends together luxury, national pride, and clever advertising strategies from over a century ago. Now, let's shift gears to how pencils played an instrumental role in some major historical events. During the Napoleonic Wars of the early 19th century, Napoleon faced severe trade embargoes, which cut off his access to high-quality English graphite. In response, French chemist Nicolas Jacques Conte developed a method for making pencils from powdered graphite and clay in varying proportions. This innovation allowed France to produce pencils that could rival those made with pure English graphite, ensuring they had adequate writing supplies during the war. Fast forward to the 20th century, where pencils became not just tools but crucial elements of technological advancement. During World War II, pencil lead was used for making electrodes in early radar equipment, illustrating how versatile these humble implements could be when necessity called. Pencils also played a key role in space exploration. When astronauts scribbled notes aboard the Apollo 11 mission to the moon in 1969, they did so with special pencils designed to work in zero gravity. These pencils were part of a significant scientific endeavor and symbolized human ingenuity under extreme conditions. How might history have unfolded differently without these small yet impactful writing instruments? Imagine if you had no pencils today, a stark reality faced by your ancestors back in the late 18th century, when Europe was grappling with a graphite shortage. In 1795, France found itself particularly hard hit due to Napoleon's embargo on English imports, which included valuable graphite from England's mines. This ban made it difficult for French craftsmen and artists to access the raw material needed for their work. Enter Nicolas Jacques Conte, an inventor who saw this crisis as an opportunity. He created a manufacturing process that mixed powdered graphite with clay and then baked these ingredients at high temperatures. The result was a pencil lead that could be harder or softer depending on the ratio of materials used, allowing for greater flexibility in writing styles and erasability. Conte's innovation not only resolved the shortage, but also gave rise to an entirely new industry. The significance of this invention cannot be overstated. It transformed how pencils were made across Europe. Before Conte's process, pencil leads were simply sticks of raw graphite that were brittle and prone to breaking. With his method, you could now have a consistent supply of high-quality writing tools that met the needs of both artists and engineers alike. Conte's lead-making technique was revolutionary because it allowed for mass production at lower costs compared to the previous methods reliant on pure graphite. This democratized access to pencils, making them more affordable and widely available. The ripple effects were profound, from classrooms where students learned to write with consistent tools, to drafting tables where architects and engineers meticulously crafted blueprints. But how did Conte's invention influence the broader industrial landscape? According to historian Jérôme Blanc's research on European industry in the early 19th century, Conte's innovations spurred advancements not just in pencil manufacturing, but also in related fields such as pottery and brickmaking that relied on similar clay-based materials. This cross-pollination of ideas was crucial for developing new technologies during an era of rapid industrial growth. So when you hold a pencil today, think about the ingenuity of Conte and how this humble writing instrument has shaped our world in ways beyond just marking paper. By the 1800s, pencils had become more than just tools for drawing. They were symbols of education and progress. In America, one figure stood out in refining pencil technology, Henry David Thoreau. At his family's factory in Concord, Massachusetts, he perfected a method to make pencils that were softer and smoother, ideal for writing and sketching. This wasn't just about improving the quality of pencils, it was also about understanding the chemistry of materials. Thoreau worked closely with graphite mined from Pennsylvania's Ligonier mines, which by the mid-1800s supplied up to 75% of the world's graphite. But this wasn't a straightforward process. Different types of graphite required varying amounts of clay and wax to achieve the perfect balance for writing. Researchers like James N. Wyman in the late 19th century documented how Thoreau's method involved carefully selecting and blending graphite with just the right amount of clay, creating pencils that were both durable and smooth. The pencil industry's reliance on Ligonier mines was not only economic but also symbolic. It underscored America's growing industrial capabilities. As more precise techniques for manufacturing pencils developed, so too did the demand for better writing tools across industries. How did Thoreau's innovations impact other crafts of his time? Thoreau's innovations didn't just revolutionize pencil making, but also influenced other precision industries like watchmaking and printing. Improved graphite quality meant more reliable drawing and engraving instruments. By the mid-20th century, pencils had become indispensable in classrooms, offices, and workshops worldwide. During this period, a curious incident involving NASA highlighted how deeply embedded pencils were in everyday life, especially during high-stakes endeavors like space travel. When American astronauts ventured into space in the early 1960s, they carried pencils because it was believed that ballpoint pens wouldn't work properly without gravity. Yet, this belief wasn't based on hard evidence, but rather a widespread assumption. In reality, NASA engineers quickly realized that pencils posed significant risks aboard spacecraft. Graphite dust could contaminate sensitive equipment and pose health hazards if inhaled by astronauts. In 1965, Paul C. Fisher of the Fisher Pen Company invented the anti-gravity pen, which worked flawlessly in zero gravity. This invention was thoroughly tested over a year to ensure its reliability under extreme conditions. Despite these tests proving that mechanical pens were far superior for space missions, pencil manufacturers continued to promote their products as essential due to historical and cultural associations with precision and trustworthiness. How did this myth persist despite clear evidence against it? The answer lies in the enduring narrative of pencils as symbols of reliability and ingenuity, reinforced through generations of schoolchildren learning arithmetic and creative writing with these simple tools. As technology advanced, so too did the pencil's role evolve, subtly shifting from practical instrument to cultural icon. The digital revolution brought about a new era where code, lines of precise instructions, became the language of innovation. In this context, pencils played an unexpected part in early computer programming. Before graphical interfaces and touchscreens, programmers would draft complex algorithms on paper with pencil. These sketches were not just preliminary drafts, but foundational plans that bridged human thought and machine logic. The mechanical simplicity and erasability of a pencil allowed for the iterative refinement essential to coding. It was an elegant tool for thinking in abstract terms, where ideas could be easily revised without the permanence and rigidity of ink. So while modern schools teach with digital tablets and interactive boards, the humble pencil continues to hold its place as a symbol of academic rigor and creative potential. Yet its influence extends far beyond the classroom into the very heart of today's technological advancements, a surprising legacy that underscores how even the most basic tools can shape complex futures. In this light, your ancestors' trust in pencils reveals not just a preference for familiarity, but a profound understanding of the iterative nature of innovation. So while space missions chose pens over pencils, the world beyond orbit found its own unique value in these simple sticks of graphite and wood, continuing to make history wherever ideas are sketched.